Hello, I am Lady Z, and I'm here to talk to you. Hold on, let me go get my other thing. Okay, so I think it's time for me to talk about me and my tarot decks. Not that it's a topic of conversation, but I get a lot of questions about my tarot deck. Or what tarot deck is it? I even get emails. Like I get comments on comments on comments of what deck is that? What deck is that? What deck is that? So I'm gonna warn you right now, I'm going to be talking a lot because this is not really a review. It is, but it isn't. Okay. It's just because it kind of folds into my story. So I will be revealing with you a little bit of my story and a little bit about myself as far as getting into these decks. So if you're kind of looking for a review, I advise you to go find somebody else to kind of look at that. But because I'm not only going to be talking about my main deck, I'm going to be talking about a deck from the past. So yeah, if you ain't interested in hearing me talk, I don't blame you. So you can go find another channel to look at a review. Now, I had already been like, it's not really a secret, but it kind of was not something that I was kind of forward with because I would comment back to so many people. It got to a point where they were just told me too many more people to just keep telling you, okay, this is the deck, this is the deck. And another thing is like with context clues, they will help you a lot. You know, if you see an Egyptian deck, even though it's not really like it's a little bit hard to find on Google, but it's there. It is there. So you know, it kind of got to a point where I was just always answering this or that, or, you know, I was even getting emails, and sometimes I would tell people where to get this and that, and I wouldn't even get a thank you. So I just was like, you know, you can look it up, you know, with contact clues, but I know that it is kind of hard to find. And I just wanted to wait for the right time for me to kind of talk about this deck. Now, before I get into that, I am planning on doing some classes. If you guys are interested, this December. I'm just kind of speaking it into action because I don't know. I don't know what's going to be like in December, but December of 2018, I do want to do some type of class for healers, tarot readers, to get a little bit more information about their spiritual journey and me helping you to access some of your gifts in any way that I can. Because I'm still learning myself about a lot of things. So whatever way I can help you would be nice. And I've had people contact me about that as well. So I do have plans on doing that, but it'll probably be like a group of like 20 to 30 people that I pick that I'm willing to work with and help you along your journey. Okay, so enough about that. Let's get back to the decks. So, where do I start? I think I'm gonna talk about this deck second, because I just think we should talk about this one second. Okay. And as you can see, I have my old deck. Well, it's not really old. It's like it's going on a year. So I guess I don't know what the year anniversary is of this deck, but I know it's on a year or it's going on a year, almost. And this will be I bought this year as well. Might have got this deck around last Christmas. And this is I got this recently, not too long ago, probably a couple months back. For that reason. But yeah, let's put these to the side first. Let's talk about this deck. Okay. So, this is the World Spirit Tarot. It's by Lauren O'Leary, I believe, or I think it's O'Leary. Well, you see it, so you can just type it in. And it's easy to find on Google. And the text is by Jessica. I'm gonna say Gadino. All right. Anyway, you can find the information on like Google or something to where you can look it up. I believe this deck is still available. Well, there's two versions. I have the newest version, but I don't feel like going to go get it. The new version of this deck that was republished, and this is the older version. I'm not sure because this came in a big box that I have in my thing. This is just a small box that is kind of like travel size that you can take with you if you were taking. Now I don't use this box. Like when I have decks, as you can see, they don't really go like I just bought this because it was nice to look at. I was like, I'm gonna use this, and I really don't. I don't use it. So I'm just one of those people that I use like a sack because I'm always going places. So like I use my little beat up sack, velvet sack still, but I put mine in a sack, okay, because it's always in my purse or something like that, and I don't really like having them in a box. It's not really good for travel for me, but I love the box for sacrecy as well. Okay, so this is the World Spirit Tarot. Now, I had a deck before this. I had 2 decks before this, and I don't own them anymore. The first deck I had was the Crystal Tarot. Now, when I got that deck, I got it because it was cute, you know, and I got it not to say that I didn't want to do what I'm doing today, because I did. That was the purpose. But it was, I was like, if there's so many decks out there, and I was just kind of going based off what looked good in the image. And I'm trying to think back, and I remember receiving it, and I wasn't really, it's not that the art was bad or anything like that. It just wasn't the deck for me. And as far as what I know now, if I would have known that then, I probably would have gotten, well, no, everything happens in accordance to when it needs to happen. But, you know, like I said, I had searched for a while, and I had got that deck, and it was kind of cheap as well. And it was just, you know, something for me to go ahead and start learning what I needed to know and starting to get into the practice of divination. So, it kind of worked. I'm not gonna say I had the best experience with it. I'm not gonna even lie to you. I really didn't have the best experience with it. I feel like now going back to having that deck, things would have been. It might be a little bit different, but I didn't really have the best experience with the deck just because of I realized how important the images are. I realized how important you have to really know yourself before choosing a deck and being able to work with the deck. Okay, so the next deck I got was the Rider-Waite, which was what everyone had. My boyfriend bought that for me because I was like, this ain't gonna work. So I didn't really expect it. I think it was a gift. I think it was a gift for my birthday, like, or something like that to that effect. But I finally got that deck, and then on top of that, I had got this one as well. So when I got that deck, it was a lot simpler. The images were a lot simpler. You were able to kind of understand how the tarot works. And then I wanted to get something more aligned with my energy. And I'm sorry, I'm talking all over the place because I'm trying to get the story together so that you guys can get a vivid, you know, like idea of what I was going. But anyway, so I got this deck as well, and I was kind of working with them both side by side because I really wanted to find something that was I don't know, just related to culture. Like, there are not really that many Black people on decks, and that kind of is like push towards that culture. And I really wanted to get more so deep into that because I'm really ancestor based as far as my readings go. And if you've ever had a reading with me, you know I'm big on talking to the ancestors, and I work with them closely. So that is like my guide, my go-to. And I kind of wanted something that kind of resonated with that energy. And mind you, I'm still young into doing divination for other people at that time. So when I got this deck, I was really excited, and it's kind of like this old feeling, and it still has this old feeling. I'm gonna show you the cards. So like, I love the back. The back looks so ancient to me. I don't know. I guess it's just because this little I forgot what this is called. My mind is blank today. The hourglass. Duh. The hourglass. Okay, so the hourglass, I love that. And I love that it had the sun and the moon here. So it's, you know, you can reverse it. I think the book doesn't really push towards reversing it, and I don't know where the book is at. I believe the book is like in one of my bags, my craft bags, but I don't have time to go get that. But anyway, there is a little booklet that comes with it. And it's okay as far as being descriptive. It tells like the symbolism on like a small level. But really, like I said, what I know today is just completely different from when I was using these decks. So here is one of the cards, 6 of Cups. And I kind of liked it because it kind of showed different cultures, different types of people. The mermaid is always being decepted as not true, and it is true. Like just certain things that I liked about this deck, like the Seeker, the Sybil, the Star. So they actually changed the names in some of these decks. I mean, in some of the cards, you have the Sage, which is, of course, the King. And this will be equivalent to the Witch of Wands, or the Witch of Cups, I'm sorry. The Lovers. It's kind of got like a groovy aspect. The Hangman. I love the Hangman. But it's very ancient. And I did use these cards on one of my videos, one of my pick a card readings, if you want to see me reading with this deck. Dang, I actually might use this one again. I put it to the side for a while because I'm just so used to using my other deck. But Ten of Pentacles. It's like, see, that's when you know you've actually excelled in a lot of ways, because now I know how to use my deck. I know how to use divination tools. I know how to, because it's not necessarily the tool. It's a lot of you that you have to get to know before you start reading the cards and getting to know different types of divination. Because essentially the answers are coming from you, not the cards. But at the same time, I understand now how to use it and work with the energy of what resonates. So anyway, I ain't gonna go through all these cards, but I just wanted to show you a little bit of the images, and I'm gonna tell you like some of the pros and cons that I had to this deck and the challenge with this one, and what drove me to getting this other deck. Okay, Eight of Pentacles, and I would have did this on camera. I'm just looking rough today, so yeah, don't want to be scaring you on camera. Okay, Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Wands. I love this because it shows like the rush of things, like that excitement in the night. Like there's another card I really like. The Moon is okay. The Eight of Wands is okay. The Tower. That's kind of a neat card. The Devil. I like that because he's like a rock star. So I have nothing but love for this deck, as far as like I'm not gonna bash it or anything like that, or bash the artist. No, I've used this deck for a long time, for about probably maybe 2 years, maybe a year and a half, something like that. But I know it was for a long time, and it's been with me for, I think, going on 3 years. I don't know where the dates are in my head. I just know I was using this deck for a while, and you could tell because it's kind of choppy here. But this deck, this version of it is no longer in print. The Hermit, Ten of Wands, Nine of Wands, Seer of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, the Universe. I really love the Universe card because it kind of shows the connection to all things. The Two of Swords, Eight of Cups. Okay, so the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna get to the cards that I wanted to show you that I really like from this deck. The High Priestess, a nice little card. And then I got like oil on the deck when I was working. Ten of Swords. Okay, so let's go back into me talking about these decks here. All right. So essentially, I had got to a place of, this is one of the decks that I was reading with, especially clients and stuff like that. This is the deck that I was using. One of the setbacks with this deck for me was I wasn't understanding like why, I could read with it, and I can still read with it today and still get good messages. But I want you to understand that sometimes when you have a deck, something is off the way that that something should be making sense. And that's kind of how I got with this. And I'm not talking about because I know there's a lot of people who say I have millions of decks, and I'm just not one of those people. I'm using it for what I'm using it for, and I need it to be my left hand or my right hand, as far as assisting me and being my little assistant or manager. I'm the CEO, and these are my managers. So I need you to be a part of me as much as I'm a part of you. if I'm using you. So I'm just one of those people that has a close connection with the things that I use. And I think that the major setback for me was the things that it kind of, not to say that the different cultures was a problem, but sometimes it's hard to put together the images. And I'm a visionary when it comes to certain things when I read, because I read intuitively. So if I can't put an image together, or it's kind of getting like, I don't know what you call that, wrapped up in your mind where things are different, it's very challenging to get all the messages that you need. Um, I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but I'm trying to. I'm really trying to explain that right for you guys so that you understand as far as buying this deck. Because I'm not saying that you shouldn't, because I do think that it's a great deck. I do. And I probably would still recommend it. I think that I would definitely recommend it if you are, I don't know, if you're a new tarot reader, I think that it's okay. I think that it is okay deck for you. Advanced, of course, but I think that it's okay as far as a beginner deck. It is a little bit different as far as how it works, but like I said, essentially you have to figure out how you work in order to use a deck. But I think, like I said, the major setbacks with this one was just the simple fact that it's like a lot of different things going on. Like, it just a lot of different images going on. And I guess with me, I'm more so a person that has to be consistent. It has to be a consistent flow of images that really resonate with me. But I can still read with it, and I think that I might do a pick a card reading with this, to be honest with you. But as far as reading with it, I think that, like I said, consistency of the images what hit me. So I think that at that point, I realized that I wasn't getting enough. I wasn't getting enough as far as what I needed to get, because my images and my sight and my vision, everything has to match up, or it has to be closely related. So at that point, I was realizing that my imagery, what I was feeling, wasn't matching up like adequately with the cards. So I just decided one day, and I know that my ancestors had pushed me, because I was at a point to where I was like, okay, something's got to give. So I was at that point again. Now we talked about that. Let's get into without further ado, Journey to Egypt. I say Journey to Egypt like so ghetto. Journey into Egypt. Like I like just shortcutting that. Journey to Egypt. It's Journey into Egypt, but you can still find it by Julie Watts. Now this one was gifted to me as well. This one right here. That's why it's so special. It was gifted to me. Now the thing was, I was up searching day and night, day and night, day and night, day and night. Like, when I say I was up all aspects of the night to find a deck, that's how hard I was searching, because I knew that something had to give. Something had to give. So when I got to the point to where I actually found the deck, I think it was Ancient Egypt. And mind you, I still keep in mind culture and just expressing the fact that I like to see it. I like to see it in my decks. I like to see that heritage. I like to see certain things that I use, because it's an energy. It's an energy that I want to express. So anyway, and I don't like very bubbly decks. I don't like things like that. I like to really, I like to have a balance. I'm a Libra, so I love balance in any deck. I like dark and light. I don't like just light, or I don't like just dark. I like both. So I needed something like that as well. And I finally found it, and it was like Ancient Egypt something. And it was, of course, sold out. And the copy that was available, I think, was like $200. So I was disappointed, and I don't know what possessed me, but I know that it was spirit. I was looking through the images on Google, and mind you, I'm going down all these images, and just one image. It was one image. I can't remember what that image was. I don't know if it was a lover's card. I don't know what it was, but it was one image that I seen that I really and I can start. You've seen these cards so many times before, but I'm gonna show you just while I'm talking. It was one image that really, like, I was like, what is that? It looked like a picture. And I clicked on it, and it led me to this website for Journey into Egypt Tarot, and I don't know, I forgot. I think it's New Moon Trading is the website. So, and if you type it in, like I said, anything you type into Google, it's gonna bring it to you. So very well, I went on there and I was like, okay, this deck is lit. Okay, I didn't see that many reviews on the deck, so I knew that it was kind of either new or it was basically getting to the point to where it was sold out, or it was just one of those rare ass decks, and it is a rare deck. So it's a limited edition, and they do have a smaller version as well, or she has a smaller version as well. She drew all these images, and I heard of her before because I was looking up Ancestral Path a long time ago, but I didn't get it. And I also have that deck as well, the Ancestral Path deck. But anyway, I got on the website and I was like, wow, and it was like really expensive. It was like $80. I believe that might have included shipping, might have not. And it was just for the deck, no book, just the deck. And I do have the book as well. I have the book. The book is really, really good too. But it was separate. So it's like almost $100 and something, like 120, 130, something like that for the whole package. But, and you have to buy that on a separate website. So yeah, so I got to that point, but you know, I made my boyfriend buy the deck, and when it came into the mail, I just knew, I already knew, like, I knew that this was like the soulmate deck for me. I knew my ancestors wanted me to have this deck. I know that because, like I said, I didn't really choose this deck. The deck chose me because I had given up. I was just still searching down the line and just like, you know, because I was so disappointed that I couldn't have that other Egyptian deck. And this is actually bigger. And like I said, bigger, the better. The bigger, the better. I love big decks. So I couldn't believe just at all the images. Now, the thing is with this deck, it is so beautiful. You probably won't want to use it. But I didn't buy it for the looks in a way that, well, I did. I bought it because I was supposed to use it. So I remember somebody commenting to me, your decks, you know, you need to buy new decks. I'm going to buy some for you. Ha, 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 ha. And I'm like, I don't need you to buy me a new deck. I can buy my own decks. I wear this deck out until I can't wear it out no more because that's what it's for. That's what I'm using it for. I'm using it for its purpose. And it's not going to sit up on a shelf. Not with me. Now, this one might sit up on a shelf, but it's only because this one needs more wear and tear before I feel like I need to use this one. I only use this deck if I'm doing a reading for myself because the energy is calmer. This energy is so hyped because I've used this for so long. But this one is a little bit calmer because I don't have a lot of energy in it. And let me tell you something as far as me choosing, or this deck choosing me. This is a signed copy. And when you add these numbers up, 4, 6, and 2, it equals 12, which equals 3. So when I seen that, I just knew because it's the number of completion. And I mean, what more do you need to say? The number of completion. And once I seen that, it was over with. It was over with. But I had already did studying. Like, this deck made me challenge myself to the point of no return. I actually did a lot of studying. I sucked at history back in the day, but like literally I did a whole history lesson. I had to catch up as far as everything. And this is prior to me getting in the mail shipping. Like, I was doing so much research and a lot of energetic work to get prepared. So that's how I also know. And once I started using it, it was like my left hand and my right hand. Like, you don't really see me using another deck because I don't need to. It can be my oracle, it can be tarot, it can be everything that I need it to be. And I also have gotten to the point, like I said, yeah, I really don't have to use the cards, but if I do use my cards, like, I know that it's going to give me a powerful message. Like, that's how deep this shit ran for me. And I'm really happy that she created such a beautiful masterpiece. So I really feel like if you're going to get this deck, please do the homework, do the work. Don't just, slack off as far as this deck goes, because I don't feel like it deserves, somebody that's just gonna slack off on it. I mean, but you do what you want to do with your stuff. But I'm telling you that I'm not gonna slack off with mine. It's a very powerful tool, and you can learn so many different things. And literally, like, even though I have the book, I don't really read with the book. Like, I don't. It follows a different system. It doesn't follow the tarot. It don't. You know, the regular tarot system. And I say that because I had somebody that tried to say, well, you know, does that mean what, you know, what the typical Ace of Wands or whatever was saying? Not to come for that person, but just saying that they tried to say, well, I look in the tarot too, so maybe it means this as well. No, 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 no. I've done enough work with this deck to know what it means. And number two, I don't go just based off the meanings. I look at the pictures and I can read. I don't just look at the Six of Cups and just say, well, automatically. I know that it has an association with the past, but it could also mean different things. She has a different meaning to the text, and like she did her own interpretations, and they are so great. But number two, if I don't use that, I don't have to. There's enough symbolism in every image to where I don't have to do that. So I have freedom. And I think that that's what was shutting me down with this deck, is not having the freedom to really expand my mind. So when you're keeping yourself captivated as far as tarot, I don't know, it just blocks messages. And I did not need that anymore. Like, I couldn't take it anymore as far as me having blocked messages. I don't just want to see the 10 of cups and just be like, oh guys, this is the 10 of cups and it means such and such based off the meaning online or the book. I want to be able to tell you the 10 of cups, it means so much more. It means maybe coming back with somebody. I want to tell you and express exactly what I'm feeling, and you know, it's going to match up with the image, and I can point at what I'm talking about. And I feel like it was limiting me as a reader, because I really don't call myself a tarot reader. I just call myself a reader most of the time. But yeah, and this makes me feel comfortable with that. I'm free to expand. So I'm going to say, whatever deck you use, make sure that you are able to freely express yourself, because divination is open. It's not closed off. It's not one meaning. It's not, okay, you know, so that means this, so this must means that. It's whatever you intuitively pick up on in the images. And this was my biggest challenge, but also my greatest reward, because all that money I spent on the deck, well, I didn't necessarily spend it, but I got it back. And I know that, you know, it was worth it to me. You don't have to spend that much money on a deck. I'm not saying that, because, you know, I understand, but just make sure that you're able to use your deck appropriately. Now, why did I get a second copy? Well, number one, it's a limited edition, so she's not going to make this size again, or I don't know that she will. She has a smaller version, which I want that too. I want the pocket size, because the pocket size is perfect for like a channel or something. Like I said, it's almost as if you don't want to use the deck, but I didn't get it to not use it. I got it to use it, because that's what it was put in my possession for. I know that based off all the synchronicities I received. Like, even the devil isn't as bad as other tarot companies make them out to be, or people who make decks and the tarot system. They make it more so, okay, the devil is addiction, this is that. But right here, the devil is just, you know, he's been through a lot of shit. Like, the devil has been through a lot. Set has been through a lot. And you can go with the tarot meanings, you can go with Egyptian meanings. I got into both. And I also use my own interpretation based on whatever situation I'm relating to. So yeah, me and this deck, it's a long-term commitment. I do have some other stuff coming though. I ain't gonna say this is the only deck that I'm gonna have to work with, but I'm telling you, like, this is my right hand, my go-to. Just very, very powerful. Even the astrology, it's a lot of stuff that you can get into. And I guess now I realize who I am. I realize that I need a challenge. I don't need something to, I guess, block me. I need to be able to have free space. Now, so I got the second deck, and if you don't see that, that's 492, and that equals the number 6. So 3 is doubled into 6. So that was like double completion, wholeness, harmony. So I just knew again that, dang, signs, right? And I'm not to say you have to have those type of signs to feel like a deck is for you, but I just knew that I was at completion as far as this is what I need. And this is not the only thing that I will use. I do have other tarot decks coming in mind, but now I really realize how well your communication with your divination tool has to be if you're using a divination tool. It's got to be something that you can use, and it's got to be something serious. And I'm sorry to say that because it just depends on what you like. If you like fairies and mermaids and stuff like that, then that's what you need to dig into, because that's what your energy is drawn to. I work with ancestors. I work with a lot of stuff, but I do an Isis and Aset. Learning all the things that I need to know, like having that history lesson is just, I don't know, it was a powerful experience for me. So if I had to give any advice, I definitely would say just search within yourself, and it will definitely find you the deck that you need to use, whatever it is. Like I said, if it's mermaids, if it's fairies, whatever you feel spiritually drawn to, whatever challenges your mind, but in a great way to expand it and challenge you, that's what you really need to be drawn to when it comes to finding your tarot deck, and having a deck that you can really rely on, because I don't look for it to just be on the shelf or just to be, being cute. I want it to really help me in a lot of ways. So, and even spiritually grow. And this deck has definitely done that for me. So shout out to Julie, shout out to her. And I'm going to be, like I said, I got more decks coming as far as reviews and stuff, but this was just a powerful experience for me. So I didn't really want to do a review. I wanted to do an experience, a part of my journey, a part of me finding things within my journey that were just so important. All right, guys. So I bored you guys enough, and yeah. Until next time, peace out.